OTP now? Oh. Finally, our MacBook Pro 2021 with M1 Max chip. Now it's time to do the unboxing. So let's see what's the unboxing experience of that.
Okay.
So now it's time to unbox my new MacBook Pro. So let's see. So in this MacBook Pro, you can see it came all well packed. Now let's unbox it. Now I have to use this one to cut it. So let's do it. Okay, really well. I will say it's really well packed, to be honest. And it's a big thing. Okay. So first the wrap is done, it's clean. Now you can see there is this strip. Okay. In this strip you just do like this, and there you have your MacBook Pro. Wow. See this beast. This is the beast. So let's now remove this one. Okay. Now to be honest, you know, this is really heavy. So heavy. Now there you can see there is a this lineups. Okay, you have to open like from there. You can see this one. You just have to pull from there, and just like that, it's done. Similarly, there also you will have it. So you have to simply do that from here. So let's do it. Pull the strap, and that's it. Now let's see. Done. So simply pull this one up, and I love the sound. There you have it. MacBook Pro 2021. Beast, to be honest, a super beast. I love the design. There's a pack. There's a feel of, you can see it's a pro thing, to be honest. Now we have the laptop, of course, you can see, and I'll be coming to other things a bit later. But now let's just focus on the laptop only. Okay. Now just to simply open it, there is a thing here. You can see it here. This one. You just have to, by single finger only, you can lift it up, and soon it will be like this. Let's open it up from here. Cool. And it's now loading up the default MacBook, that opening screen, or you can see installation screen, not installation, the opening screen. And to be honest, it's so huge screen than my previous laptop. Just a bigger screen, and I can say the UI itself also better. Okay, now let's see this beast a bit more. Wow, I mean, you guys don't believe it, the configuration of this one. Okay. And I personally, there is a line up here, okay, touch bar. I personally didn't use that much, so it's okay if I don't use it. This MacBook don't have that. Fine. I love the Touch ID, so I'm really glad it has a Touch ID. So for the authentication and logging part, and its UI is superb. So let's get started. Now I'm done with the setup. Now let me show you the other accessories that we have got. So you can see other accessories. We got one braided cable, okay, really nice one. Previously it used to be like normal cable like this, to be honest. You see, as we see, now it's a braided, and they bring back the MagSafe 3, I think 2 it was previously, but now the new version is See, the important fact, they bring back the Mac. Important part is that they bring back the MagSafe, and I really like it. Okay, the snappy sound, and we have that book kind of thing. I never read it, to be honest. And here we have 140 watt charger. Okay, so 140 charger, really good. Let's use that, and that's it. I mean, nothing else, of course. So now I have already shown you my first unboxing experience. Now let me show you how I can set up this new MacBook Pro, so that you get some idea how a pro can set up his own MacBook or any system in general. Okay, and it will be a quick one. Okay, so follow along and you will see how I'm installing the VS Code, how I'm setting up the VS Code, how I'm installing Node.js, Python, all kind of other stuff. Okay, so let me show you how it's done. First, let's go to your own choice of any browser. My choice is go with the Chrome, so I just install the Chrome and just using it. So let's go to Google and search for VS Code. So VS Code, and you can see the VS Code, Visual Studio install for Mac. Now, if it's not Mac, it's for say Windows, Linux, whatever it is, you can go for other step. My one is simple Mac, so I'll go with the Mac. See, the download gets started now, and it's started. It will take few seconds. And it's downloaded. I'm opening it and it's there. You can see VS Code Studio Code. So let's click on it and it will open the editor itself. So what you should be doing, if you're using a MacBook, you just have to drag and drop into applications. Okay, and that's it. That's all you have to do. See, now right now I have no project at all. This is fresh MacBook. I've already shown you, and these are nothing. So I'll be showing you from the from basics how we do it. Okay, the very first one is to install the VS Code and then install the required plugins. But before installing the required plugins, you have to install the programming language itself. Okay, so that's the very first step. So let's go to Google again, and first you'll be installing Python. Okay, so let's go for Python. Okay, and it will go into the Python, and see there is an option for downloads. So simply go to the downloads. I can see option getting download for macOS. I'm simply clicking on it and saving the package. It's downloaded. Click on it, and then you can see it's opening the installation window. So let's continue and keep continuing actually. Now install it and let's give the password, and it will take only a few seconds. Now this is crazy fast. It will not even take that much time, and it's all done. See how easy it is. Now close it, close this one, and you can see it's cleaning up and all done. So just close and move to bin. Now Python is installed. Now let me come to this, and I have actually a Python project that is open for all. So I have recently done 2 Python courses. One is a basic Python course and one is the advanced Python course, and all the codes are actually saved in the GitHub. So I can simply go to my GitHub account and clone the code. Okay, so this is required. So I can explain you better. Let's go to Google. Actually Google, but yeah, in the Google you can search for the GitHub and just go to the GitHub. There you do the sign in, and you can see here it's asking for 6 authentication code, and I'm very much serious about the security of everything. That's why all are like that. So I'll be using my authenticator, login. Now the next thing I should do is that Python project is in the Python for Cloud, this one. Okay, Python for Cloud. So let's clone it, and I will have the terminal. Now I will also improve the terminal as well. For now it's okay, I will go with the basic one. This one is fine. I will do git clone and this one install. See, agree. And installing pretty quick. Now you see, because I try to do some developer work, the Apple always suggested and installing some developer tools here. You can see here it's installing some developer tools which will be getting installed automatically within few minutes. So why this installation is going on, why not we install other tools? Okay, so the next one I'll be installing is the Node.js. Okay, so let's go to the Node.js, and there's a current one. We'll go with the LTS, okay, because LTS is the most stable one. Its long-term support is enabled there. Okay, and now it's get downloaded. Click on it, and it will again give you some installation window. Continue, just keep continuing. Okay, and install, done, and this is also will get installed within few seconds. Done. Okay, so Node.js is now installed as well. Similarly, we'll install the Go as well. So let's go to Google and say Golang, and we'll go to the Go programming language. There it will give us the installation, like download the Go binaries, and like what Go installation window you can tell it. And this is now downloaded. Here you can install it. See, similar kind of like go like next kind of thing. So install. You can see less than a minute is remaining, so just wait for that. But you can see how crazy fast it is to working in a high-end machine like that. Usually it takes at least 2 or 3 minutes, but it's like a matter of few seconds, to be honest. So I'm happy to see all this speed I'm getting. Now Go is also installed. Okay, so Go installation is done. Let's move it to Beam. So this is continuing. Then let's install the CLI. Okay, because see, default CLI is okay, but it's not enough. Okay, we need more intuitive UI and better UI. Okay, so for that we can do first thing is to have the item. Okay, so let's look for the item. An item really good. Okay, I'm using it for around last 4-5 years, and it didn't disappoint me. Okay, it's really good. So let's download it, save it, and just click on that one and install it. See, item. I think it's also like clickable and like runnable, but see, it's giving you off. Now you can see item also installed. Okay, now it's okay, but if you do ls and this, it's all simple one, right? It's not that kind of exciting kind of look. We need more colorization. Okay, there's a very good tool called Oh My ZSH. Okay, and I really like it. Okay, so you have to just install it and you will see this terminals become more colorful. So let's do that. First click on that install OSZH. I can see it will come here, and you have to run this particular command here. Okay, so let's copy it and run here. It will take few seconds and everything will be done. Okay, so since the this is installation is going on, so I think it's only 1 minute remaining, so let it done, and then we can do the git clone and everything, so no worries on that. So now the CLI developer tool is installed. Okay, you can see now we can run this terminal command, it will work fine. Okay, so give it only few seconds and see it's cloning and processing all that. See, the UI becomes so much colorful and so better looking, to be honest, right? Clear. And suppose now let's clone that particular git repo that we wanted to but didn't able to. So let's clone that, git clone, then the repo name. Okay, and it will just clone. It's public repo, so anyone can clone, to be honest. Now let's add this new folder. You can see the new folder is created here, Python for Cloud. Now let's open this Python for Cloud folder. Okay, so you can see here, open folder, and there is inside the see, this is the one. You can see this is the folder Python for Cloud. So let's open it, and you can see it open. There we have episode 1 and 2. Now this we have the codes. Okay, we have everything, but you can see we have the Python files here and it's showing okay and code is fine, but we can install the extension and improve the editing experience even better. Okay, and it will help you in the linting and all. To do that, you have to go to this screen. Let me show you, and there you can see the first one is coming Python, and let's install it. You can see it's by Microsoft, so let's install it first, and it help you in the linting. If you do something wrong, it will in the editor itself it will say we're doing something wrong, so it's really helpful. Okay, now let's do that, and let's come back here. You can see it's much better, and if you do any wrong, it's highlighting that okay, you are doing something wrong. That statement must be separated, new lines, something like that. So if you are doing something wrong and telling you that you are doing something wrong, that's really needed. If you are working in projects, see, we are humans, right? We make mistakes and we do also errors. So using tools, if we can eliminate errors as much as possible, we should target for that. So that's what we're doing here. Let's save it. And suppose I want to run this project, okay? And I can run, say, our simple plain or hello world, okay? So it's in the episode 1. If you didn't watch these 2 episodes yet, do watch. These are the free courses available in my YouTube channel. You must watch it if you want to become a DevOps engineer or a Python programmer. So okay, let's run this hello world. So let's go to terminal first, and then new terminal. It will simply open it, okay? Because it's single project. If you have multiple projects open, then you would have asked for like select which project you want to run. And see that this integration we did in this CLI, that is also available in the integrated version of the your VS Code as well, and that's really great. Now let's run the project. So let's go to the first episode 1, and then let's run Python 3 because we installed the Python 3 version, Python 3, and then hello world. So if you do that, you can see it printed hello world. So Python is working perfectly fine. Now suppose I want to run I want to integrate the Node.js project, okay? We can do that. So for that I have one example in particular. Let me show you. See this example where I'm showing microservice CI/CD project with Terraform. There actually I have 3 kind of projects. Okay, so Go app, Node app, and Python app. So let's download this. So I can show you the example for the simple Node as well as for the linting part of the Go as well. Okay, so let's clone it and let's come to the here and then make sure that we are in the proper path. We're in the proper path. So git clone and this, and we'll actually create a folder. Like it will create a folder and pull all the Git repo contents in this particular folder. Okay, and that's what it does. Now let's see that okay, it's created the folder. Now let's add in the VS Code. So simply we'll go here and you can see add. You can see the option to add folder to workspace. So let's go there and this is the folder. Let's add it, and it's simply added. Okay, you can see it added microservice CI/CD project for all that. There we have the Node app. Okay, so index.js, it's highlighting and all, but we can actually make it better using the plugins. Okay, so there are a lot of plugins, and I already installed the Python one. You can see there, of course, another Python linting is available. Actually, this is enough. This is enough for the Python linting as well, so you don't have to install other things. Now let's install for the Node.js. Okay, now for the Node.js we'll be installing ESLint. Okay, and this is really useful. So let's go here and search for the ESLint. See, this is the ESLint, and this is the one of the very famous one, and I really like it. Okay, I really like using it for my Node.js JavaScript projects. Okay, installed. Now let's go to the index, and suppose I did any mistakes. Okay, and say it's highlighting it and saying where is the problem, fix it. Like suppose if any fix available, it will ask you. Otherwise, we can remove it to make a fix. Okay, so for Node.js, you should use the ESLint. Okay, and it's really easy. Simply go to this extensions, and there you simply search for ESLint, and you'll find this one. Okay, and install it. All will be done. Now that is done. Now next should be the Go app, right? So we have the Go application source here. You can see Docker file main.go. There we actually have all the Go codes. So here for the Go, you can also similarly see this will suggest anyway. Say install recommendation for Go. You can recommendation. It will go for the Go. And simply if you want to do for the Go, if you want to install the Go plugins, you can come here and simply search for the Go. Okay, it will give the first this package only. So if you click on it, and it will ask for the installation. If you click on install, and it will install within few seconds. See, and it will ask you for the additional tool installation. We should install all the tools that is required. See, installing all the required tools. So it will install all the dependencies automatically, and you don't have to worry about anything. It's installing one by one. You can see here. If you suppose for your language you're not particularly finding any, you can just search for the lint part, and it will come with the Go lint and all. See, this Go language support itself have the linting and formatting and everything else. So see, all getting success. Let's wait for it to be installed, and it will be only few seconds, right? So no worries on that. All is installed. So this is how we can install all these things, and just to make sure that we install everything. Okay, it's few I think remain, so we can install the additional tool as well. The VS Code itself will ask you, just like it asked me to install the additional tools or dependencies. It will ask you. You can simply go for that and see. Install all the tools that install. Now we can simply work on that, and this is really easy. And if you do any mistake, it's showing you that you're doing mistakes. It will give you like, you click on that, it will give you like what error you're doing, and you can fix it. But let's remove this. We don't want it anymore. So this is how for say Python, for Go, for Node.js, any programming language, you can install VS Code, and you can actually, if you go to the extension and you can actually look for any programming language, what is the topmost one, okay, or the top installed one or the top reviewed one, you should go for that particular extension installation. Okay, and that's the actually right way to do it. Okay, I did it. You saw already how I did it. Now I have done this, but sometimes there is custom build or libraries required. To do that, you should install the that is Xcode. Okay, how can you install the Xcode? If you click on the App Store, it will open like this and search for the Xcode. Okay, and of course will give you the Xcode. Simply click on it, and it will take a lot of time because it's a very big file. Okay, I don't even remember, maybe 20 GB, something like that. So now the Xcode is installed, and it took me around 5 to 6 minutes, considering I have a 1 Gbps connection and this computer is crazy fast. Okay, for previous MacBook it took me around like last time I did around 30 to 40 minutes, to be honest. it was like 100 Mbps speed, and I think that old i9 CPU. Okay, now this is really crazy fast. Okay, I can tell you that. Now this is done. Now immediately after installing the Xcode, you should be installing the CLI developer tools for the Xcode. Okay, we can do that by running this command xcode select install. If we do that, see it's saying that error command line tool already installed. So previously, since we have already tried to install the Git and it asked for the prompt and it installed already, but if you didn't, you can run this command and you can install that way as well. Now let's install the Docker engine and make a Docker image of that to make sure our setup is complete for at least, and at the end I will just install the AWS CLI because I work most of the time with the AWS CLI. Okay, now let's do that. So let's go to Google and search for the Docker. Okay, so if you search for the Docker, here you will see the desktop option. Click on that and you will get like Mac with Intel chip, Mac with Apple chip. Okay, since it's a Mac with the Apple chip, we will go with the Mac with the Apple chip. Okay, and let's save it, and will take only few seconds considering my speed. Okay, it took and it's done. Now let's continue and just drag and drop in the application folder and it's done. Okay, it will take few seconds I think. Okay, let's wait for that. It's 1.5 GB copying in about less than 10 seconds. So the copying speed also crazy, guys, considering it's smaller components of files getting copied. If it's a big file, I think the speed would have been even faster, but that's okay. For this is fine. Now let's wait for it to complete, and as soon as it's complete, we will simply make a Docker image. Now we already have some code right here, this particular Node app source code, but actually we have that microservice CI/CD project that's for the Terraform, so you can use that same. And we have actually a lot of, like, for Go app we have a Docker file, for the Node app we have Docker file, and for the Python app also a Docker file. For this example, we can Dockerize the Python app. Okay, that will be easy to do. Actually, any app is easy to do the configuration part, but for this example, we will simply do the this one. Okay, you can see the Docker engine is getting started. So it will take few seconds for the Docker engine to get started and up and running, and we'll wait for that. Okay, so our Docker is now installed, set up, and all set to run, and we can make now the Docker images. Okay, and let's actually run that. So this is the folder path, right? Now let's go to the terminal. So new terminal. See, now it's giving us the option to select the terminal for the Python for Cloud or the microservice CI/CD project Terraform. Let's go there. Now the folder is actually in the Python source code. So let's go to the Python source codes, and there actually have an instruction file. Okay, you can click on the readme. Okay, and you can see to create a Docker image, you have to run docker build, then the tag name, and the tag name is Docker Python app and latest. Okay, simply run this. Okay, just this command, and you will see the Docker image will get built. So let's run it and done. And you can see it's saying building the Docker image, and it will take only matter of few seconds. You will see it will generate a Docker image, and we can check it after the generation is done. Okay, so Docker image is like created, so we can check by Docker images, and you can see it's saying Docker Python app, the tag we have created with the latest tag, right? And this is the name and the tag, so tag is the latest. So that is done. So we have set up our configuration with Docker as well. Now let's set up the AWS environment, and that will be all for this tutorial. Okay, so let's do that. Since I work most of the time with the AWS, I need the AWS CLI. So AWS CLI, AWS CLI command interface. There, if you going to install, you should be go for the Mac OS. You can see Mac OS package installer. Simply install it, and see it's installed. And it will again just like manual simple installation for Mac. Continue and agree. Now install for all this computer and install it. Install. Let's give the password, and that's it. See, using MacBook, I prefer that way, but I also work with Linux and other ways as well. But this is convenient, to be honest. Now to make sure that AWS CLI is installed, we can run AWS, then version. See, it printed the version. So what is the exactly version? Okay. So now we have installed the AWS CLI as well. So in this entire tutorial, I've shown you like how to install Python, Go, Node, and then how to set up, like, install the VS Code and configure the VS Code, install all that extension needed that can make your life easier in the day-to-day job, how to make your the terminal more interactive, more enjoyable kind of thing, and how to install like say the Xcode, how to do the developer CLI, the necessary libraries installation and all. Then how to install the Docker. And Docker, that's all are actually very easy. It's not that complicated at all. But I've just shown you, okay, and I've shown you how to verify after installation that the Docker is running fine and it's creating the Docker images. So all is done, okay. And I hope you like this small tutorial. I've shown you in the beginning itself the very first unboxing experience. Now in camera at least, I mean I did unbox a lot, but in front of camera this is the first time I did unbox a MacBook or any Apple product, to be honest. And this is also like first time I have installed like setup of entire development, what are the libraries and the necessary whatever is required to run for your development day-to-day job. I've shown you that as well. So if you like it, give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and click on the bell icon so that whenever I upload any kind of like tutorials, courses, I've made a lot of courses like Python courses already, 2 courses there. There is Terraform courses, there is Ansible courses, and there are upcoming Python courses as well. And after the Python courses are done, there will be Go courses. So a lot of things are coming up, including programming, DevOps, and cloud. So if you like this channel, of course like this video and watch my other videos as well, and subscribe the channel and share this channel with your friends so they can also get benefited from that. Okay, I hope you have a nice day. Okay, bye.